Hello everyone, now we will do another quick problem. It's the same type of problem, problem number 30. And here you will see that the company is facing some financial difficulty and it is considering to file a bankruptcy, and all of their assets and liabilities are given. So you need to check how much money will be paid on the partially secured debt. So we have to check what do you mean by partially secured debt. So here you will see they have two types of assets. Those are used to secure some sort of debt. So they have one debt, one group of assets are using to this debt portion, which is 70,000, and the whole amount of asset is 116,000. That means the asset value is higher than the debt value. So this debt is fully secured. On the other hand, if you see the other type of debt, and that is also secured by other group of assets, the amount of debt is 130,000, but the asset value is 50,000. So this is the partially secured debt. Because the debt amount is 130, only 50,000 out of it is secured by this asset. Now we'll follow the same steps that we did when we solved problem number 28. We have other assets and we have liabilities with priority and other unsecured creditors. So first we'll check what's the free assets. So again, free assets, we have to check other assets which is not used for any type of debt backup, and then we will check for this category, first group, how much free assets we will have after covering this $70,000 debt. So now to calculate the free assets, of course other assets which is free here, not used to secure any debt. So other assets amount here is $80,000, and then we have another assets, this group, $160,000, but out of this 160,000, 70,000 will be used to secure this debt. So we will take this group assets here, the rest of the portion, 160,000 minus 70,000. That means if you take out this 70,000, and you will have $46,000. So these two items, we call it free assets. So the total amount of free assets here, 80,000 plus 46,000, which is 126. Now of course we know that we have to pay this group first, liabilities with priority. So after paying these liabilities with priority, we have to check how much free assets we will have, and then we have to check our unsecured and here partially secured debt. At the end we'll see. So first let's see that free assets after paying liabilities with priority. And we see that our total free asset is $126,000, and our liabilities with priority is $42,000. So we're gonna pay this 42,000, and after paying this 126 minus 42, we will have free assets $84,000. Now let's see what are the unsecured portion of debts. So here this debt is totally secured, right? This debt is here totally secured because debt is only 70,000, and we will be using this 70,000 from this category. But the second category of debt, which is $130,000, only here 50,000 amount is secured by these assets. So the rest of the portion is not secured, and of course we have here other unsecured creditors. So now let's check what is the total amount of unsecured liabilities. So I'll write it down, total unsecured liabilities, which is these unsecured creditors, $200,000, plus here we have the second category of debt. This debt amount is 130,000, but it is only backed up to 50,000. That means the other type of debt we had 130,000, but the assets which is used to secure is only 50,000. So the remainder of this debt, which is 130 minus 50, is actually our unsecured portion, which is 80,000. And if you add that, so our total unsecured liability will be $280,000. Now we have our free assets 126,000 and unsecured portion of liability is 280,000. So we will find what percentage of these unsecured liability can be paid using this. So let's calculate a little ratio. That means here you can see here our free asset is 126. So what is the percentage? 126,000 divided by our free assets after paying these liabilities with priority is actually 84. This is the total free assets, but we have to pay the priority liability. So it is actually not 126, it is actually $84,000. And then our total amount of unsecured liabilities is actually 280,000. So if I take the percentage, we will find here 84 over 280, it's actually 30%. That means whatever the free assets we have after paying the liabilities with priority, we can use those just to pay 30% of these unsecured liabilities. Now we have to check the partially secured debt. So the partially secured debt means this group 130,000. So of course 50,000 will be paid by using the assets, plus we can pay the remainder and we will pay only 30% of it. That means the payment of partially secured debt will be payment of partially secured debt will be the value of the assets that actually is used to back up, which is 50,000, and then we will have the remainder 130 minus 50. These 50,000 will be covered by using the assets, and then we have 130,000 minus 50. This is the unsecured portion, but we actually can pay only 30%. So now if you do this little math here, you will find that you can pay here 50,000, this will be 24,000. So this unsecured debt you can pay up to $74,000. So this is the answer. This partially secured debt will be paid up to this amount.